Hi everybody, it's Jesslyn with Clear Purpose. How are you today? It's a nice overcast June day. I'm not quite sure what the weather is doing here in Southern California. I mean, my goodness, we've gone up and down with cool and warm and rain. It's just strange. So anyway, I thought I would start another topic. And the topic for this video is how are you labeling or defining things in your own mind? So perspective is always important, right? You can have one story happening and three different witnesses and everybody's perspective is different. But the reason why I'm bringing this up today is I have had several clients talk to me, and I think it's something that a lot of us fall into, but it's become something that I'm noticing where we identify something or part of ourselves and we claim it, right? We'll say, my anxiety, my ADD, my obsessive compulsive disorder, which most people diagnose themselves, with OCD without really having OCD. But they may mean like their meticulousness or their type A personality. But when they say something like, especially in terms of my anxiety won't let me do that. Or my anxiety tells me I should quit my job. Or my anxiety, you are giving this component or this emotion or this feeling a humanistic characteristic, right? You're calling it my, as if it's a thing, as if it's a person. And then in some cases, I feel that some clients are even making as if it's an authoritative. Well, my anxiety won't let me do that. My anxiety won't let me have that job. My anxiety won't let me do this kind of activity. So then it becomes like that, the anxiety is now a dictator, an authoritative figure, like my boss or my mom. So I want us to switch the perspective. What is your anxiety? So technically, anxiety is just fear, really. And so it's the fear of something. So instead of saying to yourself, well, my anxiety won't let me do that, you're already then putting yourself in the victim role or the subservient role, that this anxiety gets to rule what you do. And you're also giving yourself an escape route. Like, well, it's not me. It's not Jesslyn. It's my anxiety or my ADD or my lack of ability to focus. If you can change your perspective on how you're looking at it, then you can overcome what it is you're discussing because you're now no longer making it the authoritative part of you. Does that make sense? So instead of saying my anxiety, we start asking the question, well, what does anxiety say? What is your anxiety saying? Okay, I'm not cut out for this kind of job. Well, why are you not? And then you have to start asking the questions. Instead of it just being a dictator that my anxiety won't let me, you have to ask the questions. And then from there, you can move yourself back with, well, where does this come from? Is it really a lack of self-confidence? And then why is that there? Why are you lacking self-confidence in this particular situation? Or for someone who has a focus or attention problem, my ADD won't let me do that. Or my ADD makes me crazy and I can't focus on it. Oh, I can't do that. The more you tell yourself or the more you give yourself that directive, that's the more you're just going to keep repeating the pattern and you constantly have confirming examples. Well, of course, if you're telling yourself that you can't be focused or you're telling yourself that your attention is so scattered that you can't be focused, then that's just what you're going to repeatedly get. So to move yourself back from that and drop it down a few notches so it's not this big looming authoritative thing that rules your life, you can rule it. You can overcome it. We all have bouts of sadness. Some people say depression. We all have bouts of anxiety or fears. We all have attention problems, or some say ADD or lack of focus. We all have it. It's just, what are you going to use your emphasis and your strength to overcome? My daughter was struggling with math. She's 11, she's struggling with math. And yet she's very responsible. She has neat handwriting. She turns her homework in on time. She's, thoughtful. And yet she went to go turn in her homework last night. And it was messy, and then she was scratching things out. It was supposed to be a letter to her teacher, and she's scratching stuff out, and it's all messy. And I said, is this your best work? And she said, no. And I said, we all have deficit. We all have things that we're not good at. So then why would you want to discount or undermine the things that you are good at. You're good at writing, you're good at penmanship, you're good at being thoughtful and responsible and doing your best. Why are you undercutting yourself in this arena? We already know that you struggle with math and that's a challenge. So why are you giving you something else to not feel like that's your 100% best? So I apply that to anxieties or focus. Okay, that's maybe your deficit. That's maybe where you have your challenge. But why are you throwing your hands up and just saying, well, that's why I can't do it. That's why, you know? So my recommendation is to look at the way you're describing your challenge. Are you describing your challenge as if it's an authoritative, no questions asked, that's just the way it is, in which case you're making an excuse? Or are you going to rise above it and use all your other strengths to compensate? Okay, so engage with me some more, guys. I really love it when you listen to me ramble on. Okay, have a wonderful day, and hopefully you're going to have a really fun summer. Chat soon.